Part 1. Please find a quiet place to sit or lie and to listen to this audio. Once seated or lying, close your eyes. Focus your attention on your breath. When you're ready, inhale slowly. Let the air fill your lungs. And then exhale slowly. Let the air escape from your lungs. Inhale again, and then exhale again. Notice how your stomach rises as you inhale and falls as you exhale. Rises as you inhale and falls as you exhale. And if your mind wanders, don't be concerned. Just gradually shift your attention back to my voice. Part 2. Now observe some of the sensations or feelings you experience in your body. For example, perhaps begin with your forehead. Does your forehead feel warm or cool, light or heavy, relaxed or tight, comfortable or uncomfortable? Or perhaps you feel no sensation in your forehead at all. Now shift your attention to your cheeks. Do your cheeks feel warm or cool, light or heavy, relaxed or tight, comfortable or uncomfortable? Or again, perhaps you feel no sensations in your cheeks. Now shift your attention to your shoulders. Do your shoulders feel warm or cool, light or heavy, relaxed or tight, comfortable or uncomfortable, or perhaps none of these feelings? Now shift your attention to your back. Does your back feel warm or cool, light or heavy, relaxed or tight, comfortable or uncomfortable? What about your chest? Does your chest feel warm or cool, light or heavy, relaxed or tight, comfortable or uncomfortable? Part 3. Now, imagine a man you do not know lying in his bed. His forehead is creased, his lips are tight, he seems to be restless and worried. He shifts his position over and over, striving desperately to sleep. Now visualize the man rising from the bed and scampering to the bathroom. He opens the bathroom cabinet. In the cabinet are jars of tablets labelled Valium, Librium and Xanax. He cannot decide which capsules to choose, but he knows his decision is not important. All the tablets offer the same basic function. All these tablets are benzodiazepines, sometimes called benzos, and tend to diminish anxiety and facilitate sleep. So in the end, he consumes one Valium tablet, and soon he falls asleep, quietly and peacefully. But how did this tablet diminish his worries and anxieties? What is the mechanism that explains the benefits of these benzos? To answer this question, imagine that you can peer inside the skull and observe the brain of this man. Imagine that you can zoom your attention to one brain cell, one neuron, embedded within the brain. Towards the centre, the neuron is spherical. And this spherical section is called the cell body. Emanating from one side of this cell body is a long hose called an axon, and emanating from the other side is a series of branches like a tree called the dendrites. You now zoom even further to observe one of these dendrites, these branches, in more detail. Embedded within this dendrite is a small, unusual structure. To understand the appearance of this structure, turn your hand so your palm faces upwards. Now bend your finger and thumb so the tips are facing upwards but straight. Try to ensure the tops of these fingers are almost touching the tops of your thumb. Now imagine that you are peering down at the front of your hand from above. If you like, you might briefly open your eyes to gaze at your hand from above. Try to visualize a tiny hole in the center of your palm. This image resembles a structure called a GABA-A receptor. The GABA-A receptor is embedded in the wall of many dendrites or cell bodies throughout the brain. Part 5. So how is this structure, this GABA-A receptor, relevant to benzos? To answer this question, imagine the person has swallowed a Valium. Imagine the tablet splinters into many small molecules. You can visualize these benzo molecules as many tiny rings. Visualize these benzo molecules or rings passing from the intestines to the blood in nearby blood vessels. Focus on how these benzo molecules or rings drift through the blood vessels towards the brain, slowly and calmly. After reaching the brain, these benzo molecules attach to a protein that resembles a turnstile at a concert or event. The turnstile shifts these benzo molecules from the blood into the tissue and space of the brain. Once inside the brain, these benzo molecules attach to one of the fingers of the GABA A receptor, something like a finger might attach to a ring. Once attached, the fingers of this GABA A receptor separate slightly. The fingers are no longer touching towards the top after the ring is placed on it. The fingers are therefore more accessible to another molecule, a molecule called GABA, G-A-B-A. You can visualize GABA as a snowflake or a diamond. Therefore, very soon, GABA molecules, the snowflakes or diamonds, will attach to another site or location on this GABA A receptor. And then, as soon as these GABA molecules attach to this receptor, a sequence of changes will unfold. The fingers will begin to fall, the palm will flatten, and the hole in this palm will expand greatly. Once expanded, charged atoms called chloride atoms surge through this hole from outside the dendrite to inside the dendrite. You can visualize a flood of maybe navy blue Smarties or M&Ms, each with a minus cell on the shell gushing into the neuron. You might be able to hear or imagine a whoosh as the chloride atoms enter the neuron. The neuron is now teeming with these negative chloride items. And neurons that are teeming with negative chloride items cannot as readily generate action potentials or sparks of energy. Therefore, the neuron is no longer as active. The neuron does not generate sparks of energy, but instead begins to rest. The neuron is now rested. You now realize that since the man consumed the Valium, many other neurons are rested as well. The brain seems quiet, and when the brain is quiet, the mind is quiet as well. The man is no longer inundated with worries and anxieties. He's now peaceful and restful.